Hi everyone, welcome back for today's set. Fairy Glamor turned up the heat for Halloween this year and I'm so excited. We're going to be diving right into these brand new colors. We're going to do it on a set of press-ons today. We are going to do short Coffin, and then we're also going to start off with dip liquids today as well. So we're going to start off strong here with Jack-O-Lantern. It's beautiful. It is an orange, but it's not like your traditional orange. It is by far the perfect Jack-O-Lantern orange. And yes, it has that spooky glow to it, but just like the color of it, and it has like this beautiful sparkle, which you're going to see here in just a few moments. It is by far the perfect pumpkin orange, and I'm completely in love with it. So right off the bat, we have amazing coverage. So right there, we have like that beautiful sparkle, and we're just going to press everything down here. And you're going to see me here every time we dip. I'm going to go ahead and press everything down. That's going to make sure that we are keeping the shape of this nail, because this is going to be a press-on set, and the whole goal here is to keep the shape of the nail and prevent any bulk. So to help reduce that, I'm going to spend time pressing everything down. I'm also using very, very thin layers of dip base. You can also do the gel method with these powders, and you can also use monomer as well. So we're going to do 2 coats of Jack-O-Lantern, and we're going to do 2 coats of every color. And then we're also going to add some really fun elements to this set as well. And everything that we're using today can be found in that description box below. And when we add special touches to the nails today, we're going to be using all the unique glitters and stuff that can be found in this collection. It is so fun. You can get these colors individually, or you can get them in the whole collection. It's a collection of 6, and we're only using 5 out of the 6 today. But you cannot go wrong with whatever color combination you choose with this new collection. Plus, you can pair it with already staple colors that you have. But when I saw these colors, I was like, okay, I really wanted to incorporate as many as these like fun colors as we could in one kind of mani. So I figured the perfect thing would be to do just like a Halloween party kind of style Skittle mani. So we're going to throw in 5 colors for like this really fun Halloween Skittles mani. And then we're just going to jazz it up just a little bit here. But overall, so fun. Okay, so this one right here, I'm obsessed with. The color is that perfect Frankenstein, like eerie green kind of like zombiness. And it's so fun. It has like these little like line glitters in here that are like kind of like tinsel pieces, and they lay super, super flat to the nail. They do not create any extra bulk, which I love that about this. And right now you're probably like, that doesn't look like anything fancy, but we're going to dust off and we're going to go in with another coat here. But I'm going to tap this jar to get all those tinsel pieces kind of risen to the top, because I really wanted to focus on those. So again, a very thin layer of that dip base. I start right by that cuticle line and then pull up that product all the way up to try and avoid any flooding underneath that nail. If you do end up getting any of that dip base under that nail before you go ahead and dip into that jar, go ahead and use like a silicone tool to clean that up. That's really going to help reduce bulk, and it's also going to give you a really clean application when it's time to apply the press-ons. All right, so we have like this really fun Frankenstein like green coming through, and we have more of those tinsel pieces, which I love so, so much. And I was completely shocked how flat they laid, and I'm just pressing everything down here, making sure everything is laying super flat. Again, I tend to carry a lot of the bulk right here on those sidewalls by the cuticle line, so I'll make sure I press those down. And then I wanted to add more of these tinsel pieces here to kind of create like the ultimate spooky effect. It also gave mummy vibes, so I feel like once you see the placement, when we fill in the rest of the bare areas here, you're going to see what I mean. It kind of gives mummy vibes, and I feel like drawing some eyes on here or putting some googly eyes would be like really fun, especially for like a Halloween party. But overall, you cannot go wrong with whatever you create with this color. It's really fun, and I like how it has like, it's still like this like dingy green gray. It's definitely giving you all those spooky vibes. So right now I'm just using that orange wood stick. We placed the rest of those tinsel pieces, and we're going to move on to the next color here called Hocus Pocus. And the name is perfect because there is tons of Hocus Pocus going on in this dip powder, and it's also a really fun thermal. So you have this really gorgeous like spooky purple kind of gives you like a gray undertone, and then it changes into like a dark gray black. It's really, really fun. And if you've tried any of Fairy Glamor's thermals, you know they are super, super sensitive, and they are just, they are giving you all those thermal vibes you want. And if you're in the market for thermals, definitely check out Fairy Glamor because the quality of their thermals are unreal. They even have triple thermals, which are crazy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dust off, and now you're going to get a really good visual on this color. It is fun. It has bat glitters. It has more of those tinsels. It has these really fun purple, like holographic glitter chunks in there, like shards, kind of looking like glass. So for this bat right here, I'm not against the bat at all. But for my first dip, I want to avoid the bats at all costs, because what that's going to do is that's really going to bulk up the nail, and that's something I want to prevent. So we're going to focus on the bat glitter with the second dip. So right here, we're going to apply another layer of that dip base, and you can really kind of see that glitter come to play. And you can also see a slight thermal effect. It's a little bit darker, but you're going to see it come to life here in just a little bit. So again, we are dipping right into the jar here. If you're more comfortable dipping into cupcake liner to have some more wiggle room, you can definitely do that as well. So now we're just going to press everything down, and I feel like Hocus Pocus is a great name for this because we have all these different elements in it, and plus there's bats in here. We're also going to pull those into the look as well. So that's the best part about this collection, is that even though there's different elements and different powders, you can pull those out and totally create the ultimate spooky mani, and that's what we're going to do here. So you're going to get a really good visual today on this collection on how these colors perform and if these colors are going to be right for you. So that is something that I'm super excited to show you, these 5 colors in action, so you can get a really great idea before you go ahead and jump and purchase something. All right, so we're dusting off here, and it is sparkly. It is so beautiful. I'm loving this. I'm loving the color scheme. I'm loving the thermal. All right, so now we're applying that dip base again on here, and this is when you're going to see this thermal take a darker side of things. And so you're going to see it's very dark right now, and we're just going to add some more of this like shard glitter to some of the bare areas here just to fill everything in just a little bit. Total optional. If you are loving where the placement is of everything, you don't need to go ahead and add more. I just wanted to fill in some of those bare areas here to just give it like that ultimate like shard glitter effect. I just think these are so fun, and we're going to add another tinsel piece here, but nothing too crazy. I didn't need to like fill in too much. I just wanted some extra shards, and I really focused on those versus the bats because we're going to play with those bats more here in just a little bit. Moving on to this color right here. This is really fun. It's also a thermal, and it has like that same almost like sparkle that the jack-o'-lantern had, and it's really fun. I feel like this right here is the perfect witch's green. For some reason, you know, Wizard of Oz, like the Wicked Witch has that green face. This is the color that totally like reminded me of that. So this is really fun. It's the perfect witchy green, and we're gonna jazz it up here to kind of give it the ultimate like witch's brew effect. But overall, so fun. The coverage is there. So we're gonna dust off, and when we're dusting off, you can see it's fading into like that lighter green, that like spooky, eerie kind of sky green. So that is really fun. I really like that the thermal has like these really beautiful glitters. We're kind of carrying in those same glitters from jack-o'-lantern. I really like that effect of that. And even though we are pairing all five colors today, you totally don't have to do that. I just really wanted to do just like a really fun like Halloween party kind of style mani. So that is what we did today. But no matter what combinations you pull in with these colors, you're going to be able to create so many different things. So just pressing everything down and making sure everything is super flat before we move on here. And I really love this green. You're going to be able to do a lot with this. This would be great for St. Patty's Day, or even pulling in for summertime with some bright pinks, but really beautiful. I love the sparkle so much. It is definitely giving me all those like spooky green vibes, and I'm totally here for it. So we are going to go ahead and dust off here. And again, we are going to jazz that nail up here in just a little bit. And we're moving on to the last color for today. And if I could have done all 6, I totally would, but I just really wanted to focus on these here. So this one's really fun. It has like a milky clear base to it, and then we have really fun pops of pinks, purples, we have some black glitter in here, we have some green, we have these really fun stars in the colors purple and green. I just think this is so fun. It's like spell casting. It's giving you those wizard vibes. So we have like your pumpkin, your mummy, we have your hocus pocus, we have that really fun witchy green, and then we have like your magical witch potion nail right here. So we kind of are going through all the different spooky categories here. So we went ahead, dusted off, and those stars, believe it or not, are laying really flat. They're very tiny, so they're going to be able to just cover a lot of surface and lay flat to the nail. I like the sizing of these stars and how dainty they are. So that second dip here, we are rocking here. We picked up more of those black circular glitters, and then we definitely picked up some more stars. So I'm going to spend some time here making sure everything is laying super flat before we move on. If you have any clumps of like stars kind of hanging out on one side, make sure you remove those with a orange wood stick, kind of just brush and separate that pile just to make sure you're getting like that flat surface. So we're just making sure we're cleaning up underneath that nail as well in between each dip, just to make sure we're keeping the underside clean. We're going to dust off here, and I really like how the light is hitting these stars. It gives it the ultimate sparkle effect. I don't know, I'm loving the stars and just like the little pieces of glitter. So now, yes, I dumped some of the glitter out, and we're going to focus on these stars here. We're going to create kind of like a little design here, and we're going to alternate between the purple and the green here. Now the green right here, with the color that it is, it's going to be kind of hard to kind of see the green shine through, but it's all going to come together. So I kind of wanted the stars just on one side of the nail here, kind of like a half of like curving it down on the side walls here and all the way to the tip. And then we're going to do one other thing to this nail right at the end. I felt like it needed a little bit more. I also debated on doing these stars kind of coming out of a cauldron. I thought that would have been really cool, just using a dotting tool and making the circle for the cauldron, and then using a dotting tool, just dotting for like 2 legs. I thought that would have been really cool to do a little cauldron and have like the stars coming out of it with some black gel polish. So that is another option here. But we're just going to add a few more stars. I am speeding up this right now just so we're not sitting here forever watching me hand place some stars here. But I did go ahead and add some more dip base because it was drying a little bit. Don't be afraid to go back in and add a little bit more of dip base when you need to. So now that we have the stars kind of where we want them, I'm going to go ahead and use the flatter side of the orange wood stick and now just kind of just create the design. So we have like this slight curve going on here, just kind of cleaning everything up before we move on to the other part of the nail that we're gonna go ahead and jazz up here. But I'm loving the stars. I think it's really cute. And again, this nail is not done yet, so stay tuned. We're gonna add an extra touch of spookiness to this nail here in just a little bit, but we're still gonna go ahead and incorporate some other stars to this jack-o'-lantern nail. But before we get into those stars, we have to add some more of those bats here because we didn't really focus on the bats when it came to Hocus Pocus. So in order to get this bat a little bit flatter, I am going to go ahead and just pinch it and kind of smush it with that orange wood stick here, and that's just going to go ahead and kind of give it a little bend. So then we have like this super flat bat kind of just like floating on the nail here. But when you're working with different shaped glitters, you could always go ahead and just bend them a little bit. You can even stick it between your fingers and just give it a little bend, and that's just going to help that shape just really lay flat to the nail. So now I'm going to add a little bit more dip base. I technically did not know where I was going with this nail until it kind of like all came together. And that's the best part about doing your nails at home, is that there's really like no pressure. You can totally let your creativity go and just become one with like the nail art. So that's really fun. And I don't have a game plan when I sit down. I just kind of let the colors like speak to me. So right now what we're doing is we added 3 bats to this nail. It's kind of like they're going into the moonlight, flying in the night sky. And these bats were really easy to work with. And I'm just making sure they're exactly where I want them before we move on. And now we're going to add some stars. These stars are so fun. And again, you can pull in so many different elements with this collection and really create some really awesome nail art with the glitter pieces that are found in these dip powders. I just think that's really fun that you don't necessarily need to use it as a dip powder. You can pull and take away all those different elements to create the ultimate spooky look. So fun. So now we're adding some small black circle glitters here, and then this set would not be complete without pulling more of those tinsel pieces in to give it the ultimate Halloween effect. I just feel like the tinsel pieces totally tied in the whole look for this nail. And you can see here, it was really easy to add this, and this is a great way to add some effortless nail art without using any gels. You can just use some glitters here. So we are adding a little bit more of dip base on that nail here, and we're going to continue adding some more tinsel pieces, and voila, we have the ultimate spooky nail here. I'm so excited about this. I don't know if you can tell. I'm loving these powders. All right, so clear encapsulating today, super simple. We're just gonna make sure we're doing a very thin, even layer of clear, but still making sure we are getting into all those nooks and crannies of those glitters, so we are protecting them. And then I'm gonna go ahead and dip into that clear, kind of let that nail hang out in the clear, let it marinate, let it absorb completely. Do not be afraid to keep that nail in there longer, just to make sure you're absorbing all that dip base. And then we are gonna go ahead and do that same thing. We're gonna press everything down, making sure everything is laying super flat before we move on to that next nail here. So I am going to go ahead and finish up the clear encapsulating off camera just to save some time today. But I'm using a clear from a different brand. I do not have one from Fairy Glamor. Definitely need to pick one up. So you can see here we have the perfect clear here. Everything is laying super flat. None of those glitters are sticking up. Now that we cleared encapsulate, we're going to scrub all that extra clear off and go in with the activator. Now after your clear dip base has dried and that clear powder, go in with that stiff brush. Wait about 2 minutes to make sure everything is completely dry. Then give everything a good scrub. That's going to give you a crystal clear finish. And then go in with your activator, and activating right here is super satisfying. It is bringing this mani to life. And now that the activator's on there, we're going to let that sit for about 2 to 3 minutes before it's completely hardened. And then for filing today, we are going to go in with my e-file. So this one right here from Sandara Nails is amazing. I like to use it at 1 RPM today, and it does not stall out or anything like that. And I'm just letting this e-file do the work for me. I'm using one of those mini sanding bands, which is a game changer for making press-ons. So I'm doing the majority of the filing and buffing with this. So we are just making sure everything is buffed out here. I am going to clean up underneath the sides of the nail as well. And this is easy. Like right here, look at, we're cleaning up underneath the nail here now. And this is a game changer. If you have not tried an e-file before, I was always very intimidated by them. You can always practice on a swatch stick, but it is really fun to use. And that mini sanding band is definitely where it's at, because it's giving you like that control that you need when you're working with a smaller surface. And then we're just using that regular file here just to reshape just a little bit. And that is all we needed to do. So that e-file did all the work for us, and we have the perfect nail right here. So now that everything's laying super flat, we're going to move on. I did the rest of the filing and buffing off camera. We're going to dust off here and do another layer of activator. And now you can see the full potential, because we have the shape, we don't have any more bulk, and we just have the really cutest like spooky mani here. But we're not done yet. So now that we applied the activator, I wanted to add a spider, and I was debating on which kind of spider to use. So on the green nail here, I'm going to apply a layer of McCart transfer foil glue, and you apply it just like you would with your gel base or gel top coat, and you let it cure for 60 seconds. So while that's curing, I placed the decal in room temperature water for about 10 seconds. And originally I wanted to use this whole decal here, but then it wasn't really going to work. So we're just going to focus on the spider. I just felt like the whole decal was a little bit too busy for the nail, and it was going to take away from that beautiful green and then those stars. And I still wanted to showcase those. So we ended up using a spider here. So we placed the spider on the nail, and now I'm just using that silicone part of that tweezer here and making sure that it is laying super flat. So the reason why I use that transfer foil glue is that it made that decal stick directly to that nail, and it laid really flat. And now I'm just going to go ahead and clean up that extra decal that's kind of hanging over the edge here, and we are done. So that was it. That was our extra spooky element, and that is something separate that it was from a different brand, but you can find everything that we used today in that description box below. We're going to seal everything in with a layer of gel base on all the nails and cure And then to finish everything up today, we are doing a layer of gel top coat. I wanted to do matte, but we went with a glossy top coat today to really just showcase all the beautiful elements in these powders. And here's the finished set. Doesn't it just scream Halloween party? I just love this so much. I can tell you right now, I really enjoyed working with these dip powders and playing with all the different elements to really bring this mani to life. And these powders performed amazingly. So if you are still looking for that perfect Halloween collection, this one just might be for you. And this is the Hocus Pocus collection from Fairy Glamor. So everything that we use in today's video will be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one.